Saturday Showdown, KT Rolster versus T1.
The Gnar is something that Zeus is extraordinarily good at, and also one of the picks that works into the Renekton is there's the Alistar.
Because you pick the Alistar because you expect the Rel support, but they could, they could put the Nautilus support in the Rel jungle, they could put the Rel, you have that flexibility that means that you can just go for the best matchup, and I think Nautilus Kai'Sa is the best matchup into the Alistar.
Got a bunch of comfort, and we'll see whether this is going to be the start of the T1 Renaissance. Jump onto the Rift.
Yeah, appreciate the shout out.
And look, now everyone does, because I've just told them about it, and they can look it up if they're interested.
Carrier's definitely had some rough games, but they've tried to challenge quite aggressively.
Ooh, there's the Pulverize in response. Puddock's actually going to catch the Void Seeker for Beryl, and then Beryl is going to weirdly walk up towards them and take too much damage.
Yeah, he was
Explain it to me.
Very close to death. I can't, because you know why I can't explain it?
Because you don't have...
Because I'm not a two-time world champion.
There we go.
And Beryl is, and that's why he did that.
Well, Rascal is going to have to flash, and Owner is actually a little bit out of position.
Rocco's just kind of hanging around.
All right, we've got Beryl also. He's been lit on fire. Gumayushi going to get the flash out there. Was threatening the passive proc. And Beryl not going to do that one. As okay, Charm connects in the mid lane.
For the DRX bot lane, and we can see the level difference already between junglers. A little over half a level this early is very significant, especially when they both have such impactful ultimates. But Croco finally going to pair up with the Renekton, and Zeus has just gone mini.
Yeah, this is a real rough time. There's the flash, and the permafrost comes down. That is a guaranteed kill, and Croco is going to be able to help secure it. Might help him out there with a bit of that assist goal, but he is still 5 camps behind.
DRX still with a slight gold lead now. Now they're looking for Poby.
Yeah, there is the Glacial Prison. It connects beautifully, and Poby will explode. The Emperor's Divide comes in, but that is almost from the grave for the Shuriman Emperor. And now the Rift Herald's going to go down in the mid lane. Owner comes on in. Croco doesn't seem too worried about this one. Fate, I think, is able to collect plates, and he does. As Carrier
Which,
in the mid lane.
I mean, this is kind of why farming junglers aren't a thing in this meta, because they're both level 8.
Yeah, and
at the end of the day,
how much more valuable does Owner get with like an extra half an item?
He doesn't.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. As Zeus not going to find the boulder as, oh dear, Everfrost comes through. The Orbit Deception is very deceiving, and Carrier going to be able to get the lockdown onto Fate. Owner comes on in. They do get the Spirit Rush and Flash out of Fate here as the permafrost comes through, but Poby just barely survives.
We'll see, this is when they try to go for it again. Similar situation, but he gets the ult off and manages to use the shield to survive. 55 HP, so cutting it very close, being honest.
Oh dear. Well, anyway, Owner is still pretty strong here as the ultimate flies to Narnia. That is not what you want to see. As Croco, can he actually get the smite? He can't, because it's taken by Azir. Carrier taking a fair bit of damage as Rascal's now trying to get amongst it. Fate diving forward. Owner is burning, ticking, and Fate is going to pick it up. But the hook is going to connect here onto the Dominus Crocodile, and he will be the trade. I think Rascal could have possibly just not moved a bit further forward there, but DRX probably thought they had an opportunity to get themselves something. So, Shirley goes to T1 on behalf of both of us for missing that.
This would be a great TFT
Twitch chat. Absolutely. As Rascal is going to have to flash, and Zeus says he does not care. He's going to have Mega Gnar even if he tanks up the turret for an extra 4 times, and that is just a very comfortable solo kill. But no, it is going to be Owner that's able to secure it. As let's have a look at this one more time. Just waiting in that brush.
Yeah, gets a nice bounce there. And then the fact that he has the red buff as well as the Triforce, there's just no getting away. You're getting slowed. The movement speed's being picked up as well.
Is just wandering around, and this Baron is just going. Carrier is going to be able to find the hook onto the Sejuani here as well, just trying to keep Croco busy. Depth charge comes on in as Fate. Can he actually get himself over, as it is going to be the Baron secured? Into the pit they go, though, as Puddock's able to take down the kill onto Poby, but now T1, they just need to get out of there. Losing 1 kill, getting the Baron, still absolutely fantastic, as Gumayushi with the killer instinct.
Had the Azir and the Kai'Sa there, and then Kerry doing a good job of playing interruption, but now they're trying to defend the mid-tier 1.
Yeah, Kerry is taking a lot of damage. Teleport does come forward as Owner with the Magnastorm is there. Zeus is building the Narbar as Beryl, the Unbreakable will, and he's going to be able to get himself out. Croco trying to escape as well, as they do need to respect Zeus. Rascal, he's getting flashbacks to what happened in the bottom lane, but he is going to be able to make it to the turret this time, and Zeus does not feel like diving. Still, they're going to return the favor here as this outer turret will fall. With Croco's ultimate that they might be able to play around.
See, now this is how frustrating it is playing as a Kai'Sa who can just spam W's at you. DRX, I have to deal with the side lanes as well. Oh, this... They didn't make the fight happen.
There's the fadeaway jump shot. They do manage to get the cleanse out of Gumayusi. Emperor's Divide just to protect the President as Beryl dives forward, gets the stun here onto Poby. He will go down, but at what cost is the question? Fate keeps himself alive as Rascal's going to get hooked up. And now Croco and Rascal against the world here as Beryl just doing his best to try and escape. Somehow it almost works as Zeus will be able to grab it as Carrier. That is a beautiful hook, but he tries to let Gumayusi grab the kill, who does manage to flash forward and grab the Void Seeker kill onto the Crocodile. Croco, not sure about this one. Not sure about the avenue to escape here, as that was a cute little ring around the rosy. As Permafrost is going to be in. This is going to be a lot of time bought by the Sejuani, as Owner doesn't really have very much damage. He just needs to try and keep Croco in position so that Gumayusi can slowly walk towards the Sejuani. As Zeus is just winning the game by himself. That's his strategy, as he may die, and there it is. So 1 for 1 underneath the turret, and he was a lot of the added pressure. Croco also just walks out, by the way. That's how you're supposed to do it.
Off DRX is zoned, and it just becomes a cleanup matter for T1, but the problem is, now they become so split after the fact. So Zeus looking for a 1v1 mid, which he eventually does find, but at the cost of his life, it's not really worth. And in the meantime, the rest of the team are chasing the Sejuani, who they don't even get.
Because this inner turret is going to be taken down. Beryl was on a bit of a mission here. Carrier is going to spot him. And now DRX, they do at least have priority on this Baron. But Zeus has priority on the enemy base.
Yeah, they just got to go for it now because this Gnar is too much of a problem in the side lane. They have to force a fight. They have to get a TP from Zeus at a minimum, but he's just going for the structures.
Yeah, and there is a complete flank from Beryl and from Rascal in this moment. Carrier is going to go in as Gumayusi supercharges after the cow. Rascal is still just in no man's land. He's going to have to teleport back to the base because otherwise they may just lose it right here. They're inside the pit. It's going to be a 50-50. Empress Divide is fantastic. It's a 3-man knockup, but what does it actually achieve is the question. Poby's going to mop up the kill on the cow. And now T1 will just take down the last remaining Nexus turret and pick up the victory. DRX, unfortunately, just pushed into a situation where they couldn't really win. And there goes the Nexus. T1, beautiful play, honestly, in the last few passages, but a little bit unfortunate there from DRX.
And we're probably going to see that reflect in the damage graph where, look, Gumayusi doing over double Product's damage.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I don't think Product played bad. It's just you're putting yourself in this matchup where the enemy champion can kill you far beyond the range you'll ever reach. Oh, you know what's cool? You know, imagine if you had a skin for a champion, right, who's also an archer. No,
yeah.
never happened. The Braum pick actually pretty good here, though, I think. You have double AD carry, Braum Sejuani really strong in the early skirmishes. I think this is actually a great pick in this situation.
You like the Braum angle?
I like the Braum angle.
Does come in this time around. Where is Croco going? Will he be farming? Let's find out right now.
And also from the fact that he opted... He kind of did like the Ivan thing where you don't kill jungle camps for a while, except he's not playing Ivan.
Yeah.
So hopefully more of a focus on that this game. Maybe.
That's what I was calling for last time, and then Teddy played the lethality variety. As Carrier is under the turret. He takes 2 turret shots, and Hail of Arrows comes in. So actually, pretty sure Hail of Blades, Varus is the best. Look at that. Carrier is on no health. And he didn't do that in the last game.
And Croco's like, hey, enemy support just blundered. Time to gank.
Well, that's precisely what he's doing. And this is the fast track towards the bottom side. Beryl's moving in. There's the flash forward. This is the Beryl aggression that we know. And Gumayusi is now left on his lonesome. May have to flash to get himself out of this as the permafrost does come in. Cleanse comes down. He's going to hold the flash for a long time, but there it is. Croco going to be following after him. It's a merry jaunt through the enemy jungle here as even the Brambleback is getting involved. The glob that you're talking about, man, like Micro's secret stuff really coming through here as Gumayusi. This is not the time to bring up these Ezreal stats because they don't look great. Things aren't going great here on this bottom side.
You know what this says to me? If you're not aiming, don't play it. And it looks like T1 has decided, nope, we finally have enough people to do this. We're getting the Herald.
Well, let's see whether they can actually do that. As Croco moving on over, Nature's Grasp comes down. That is an early smite that does come through here as T1. They do manage to grab it. Croco, he's out of there. Beryl not going to be so lucky as they're still diving in on top of it. Fate trying to get the damage down where he can, but he just cannot make it happen. It is still Rascal being able to pick up a kill, and Carrier goes down as well. Oh, the hail of arrows! Lethality, Varus! That's what I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting Lethality Varus to come out and just destroy them. And what I needed to remember was to see whether he can take down an extra plate. And Croco, Beryl, and Fate are all here. All right, Gumayusi is going to get imprisoned. And I think they only really needed Croco, but the rest of them still going to spectate the whole situation. T1 moving into the mid lane and will be able to get this Rift Herald to come down. Teleport to the inner turret, as Fate is going to turn up and look to see whether he can stop this one from happening. Croco and Beryl moving in. Carrier is going to get CC'd as the permafrost comes down.
Looking to contest. There's the TP coming in.
Yeah, Cassante coming in as well. That is a deep flank angle here from Rascal as they dive on top of Beryl. He throws out the ultimate to try and buy some time as Emperor's Divide comes in, but the all-out is going to be there, and Poby is going to fall, but Puddock is already dead. They're going to be able to take down the Varus, and that is so much of the DRX damage. This is a disaster for this team that have really committed.
And I think Lethality Varus was in a better spot then than now.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be real. DRX setting up this Herald, though, not wanting to give a second one over T1, but T1 are looking to contest.
Yeah, Nature is going to be grasping here as the door is going to be put up. Puddock still trying to get some damage down. Stand beside me. Going to be used here by Beryl as Rascal gets a flash out from Gumayusi. His cleanse also is down, as that is a decent amount of damage with that explosive charge. And DRX is just going to get them out of there.
Harry just walked it in for the rest of his team. He had the bomb in his head and he just...
Yeah. We see a lot of players do this, actually. There's a lot of, like, disrespect to the explosive charge damage. Of course, wasn't stacked very much. Didn't kill anyone. But it's, it's just not very nice. They can win this one, of course. 700 gold. Not very much of a difference here as Beryl just loses patience. He's going to throw an ultimate over onto Owner here as the Glacial Prison also comes down. But this is not the target you really want to be taking. Still, they get him out of there, and Fate grabs the kill onto Carrier. Buster Shot gets rid of the Croc, as well as Rascal. I don't know about that one, but still, these arrows are just flying through. And Puddock, this is what happens when he stands this far back and they try to fight. He's able to actually get...
It looks like to be the plan here, and the Pogue's coming out. Well, didn't there, but for the most part, but look at Zeus on this flank. This could be devastating.
Yeah, they didn't land another Zenith's Blade as Puddock is just going to get 100-0. Carrier this time. He's going to find it, and he's going to take them down as the Dominus doing so much work. The double kill, though, with this explosive charge, as Fate is pretty dangerous still. Gumayusi is going to try to find it here as Fate somehow surviving for so long. The auto attacks are going to be all he needs as Rascal versus Gumayusi. That is going to be the battle as Rascal is just going to get out of there. Doesn't want to tempt Fate, although Fate is in the death chamber. I walked into this, didn't I?
You did.
I did walk.
I wasn't going to mention it because I've mentioned it so much.
Yeah.
You set me off.
Yeah, I had to. As in goes Rascal. Okay, finds the third Q. There's a knock-up as they look for it. Still, Owner's just going in because I think he knew that he wasn't going out. And so DRX, they're going to kill the jungler, and now do they look for a Baron, or do they just try to lock down Soul Point? That is the question. It looks like Baron is on their mind.
DRX are just trying to apply pressure top while those waves build up in mid and bot, and Fate, with the shield there, just able to tank up the tower, get a bit of chip damage.
And look at this, like, Freljordian frontline just moving these 80 carries towards this turret so they can get to work. Man, the explosive charge does a whole lot of work. And Zeus just pops like a crocodile-shaped balloon. And now Rascal, he finds the angle. They dive on top. Owner is just trying to get out of here. He wants out of this base forever. And he is going to go to the death chamber, so he sort of half gets his wish. As Gumayusi just getting sniped from a million miles away. Carrier pulled back by Rascal, who is very, very low on health. They do get the Rain of Arrows kill, but now their health bars are extraordinarily low. Puddock just taking matters into his own hands. Rocket jump from Fate provides no way out for this Ezreal. It's a triple kill, and now we're heading towards game number 3. DRX What a turnaround from games 1 to 2.
It worked pretty well. It did the damage.
It does. And like, Lethality Varus will always do this, right? Like, you can ride a snowball beautifully as this champion if you're ever in an even game state. And it felt like DRX, like, look at this graph up until 24 minutes.
Look at
if they don't find that Baron, it's over.
You know, and DRX could bring out something other than the Rel in the support role. And with the Maokai...
Now we don't know.
Now we don't know, but the thing is, when we see Jace, Maokai-Jace is such a common duo, and they do need some AP damage, which you're not really going to get from support Maokai.
DRX, though, could get things done a little bit earlier on. We'll see how it is going to go as we jump into the Rift for the third game. See whether Owner is going to opt into also vertical jungling.
Ooh, and also, we actually see Gumayusi going for the minion dematerializer. So this has been talked a lot about when it comes to LeBlanc, is that people were still playing LeBlanc despite the nerfs to the AP minion damage on Shiv. And the reason being is DMAT lets you still kill the caster minions with Shiv. So here, Gumayusi's going it to essentially increase the effectiveness of Shiv and make it continue to be relevant throughout the game.
And walks over a ward, but I think he should be able to fill himself up on popcorn chickens pretty comfortably here, as Owner is going to cross towards this ward. Actually going to be fighting Croco, but the Vault Breaker is not going to find the Maokai. The Jace not moving over just yet, is on the wrong side of the lane here just a little bit, as in goes Poby. I don't know about this though. The Bramble Smash does come down. It's a decent Shock Blast, but there is the Vault Breaker onto Fate. He doesn't want to flash. He's going to have to in the end, and just barely survives.
That was very close to being a pretty bad time for DRX. Fate really playing it close to the wire there. But does bait out the flash from Owner, which is positive. But Croco's still level 2. He can't really contest his vibe, and will just be kind of at the bane of Owner's aggression. And now
really at risk of just losing this this red buff. And honestly, he could have cut his losses, right? He's already taken Raptor's red from Owner. And now Owner not going to be able to steal this one away. Level 3 for both of these junglers now. As Gumayusi is in a bit of trouble here towards the bottom side. Puddock trying to find some autos. It's a minion a few times there, but Beryl gets himself out of the way. And checking in on these summoner spells, it is just a cleanse that does go down as Bramble Smash to try and deny the Vault Breaker. But Zeus with all this priority. Now we've got Puddock coming in for a bit of a gank. There's a flash forward. They get the flash out from Gumayusi as now Carrier looks for Puddock. As there is a Maokai waiting in the wings. Owner's moving over. He's on vision, but there's a headbutt back. Puddock gets over the wall, though, and now Carrier could be overextended. The feathers do not get there, and Beryl needs to make sure that they can get out of this one. He can crash over the wall if he would like to. And Owner towards this top side. Rascal still relatively high health. And level 6 here for Zeus. Rascal going to try and get out of the way of it, and does find the decent amount of CC here, as Rascal doesn't get towards the wall. Croco's moving over, though, and the dash does come through. So Rascal has to use everything, but he does make it out. They are just going to get over this wall and look for a Zeri underneath the turret. Just barely doesn't have flashes. There is the crash down. Gumayusi taking a lot of damage, and that is first blood going to Puddock just in the nick of time. Lichbane. Oh. That's the value right there. As Croco, speaking of which, is going to throw some dragons towards this top side. Zeus going to just mark the line of scrimmage, and Rascal's going to pull him over it. There's the twisted advance as well. They ignore the equalizer and take down the Rumble. And now into the bottom lane, T1 goes. They will be able to grab this turret as the crash down comes in. Carrier gets the headbutt, but just into the wall there, as don't give kills to Gumayusi should be what DRX are going to be focusing on. As Puddock moving on in, but Gumayusi is spotting him quite nicely here as another charge to come through from this Rift Herald. Not going to take the turret with Croco and Beryl in the vicinity, and Fate moving over. And Fate needing to hit more of these as Beryl finds a bit of a stun onto Carrier. There's the flash pulverize! Immediately the Feathered Storm comes out as Puddock is just running for the hills, but Gumayusi executes him! And now they're going to be able to find the kill onto Owner, but Gumayusi is now free hitting. That's a second! And I feel like oh, never mind. Rascal is going to be able to pull Gumayusi out of this fight. He skates away, though. Just some Zeri things, ladies and gentlemen. Croco is going to be taken down. And I am frustrated, but pretty proud of T1 for how they managed that team fight. Missing out on this Hextech Drake means that reality of the Ultra Zappy Zap lady is very, very close. And that's scary, to say the least. As Carrier is going to be moving on in here. DRX need to... Okay. They may have just caught him out of position here. In goes Beryl. He just crashes down. The Unbreakable Will is in, but he is dead. He's buying a fair bit of time. But Zeus is taking the Drake, and they're taking an inner turret as well. Still, DRX, all they want is Baron. They might be able to at least make sure the Baron isn't on the map, but Owner, he could have the opportunity to get this steal happening. They have no vision of what's happening here as Rascal, he gets over the wall. They secure the Baron as now they get on top of Owner as well. Gumayusi, he has ulted, but DRX just need to keep him at arm's length. Oh my, is this going to be it? I am so frightened as Rascal, he could be the first target, and oh, the Sand Soldier not quite enough to be able to take down this Cassante. And T1 not going to be able to get any kills off the back end. So the Baron does come in.
But DRX get it. They're playing to the fog. They're using the poke when you can't see it coming, when it's so hard to dodge. And now they're setting them up on the Baron. Owner has to try and get in. Yeah, it's in full darkness here as they do try and pull in Owner. He goes golden, but they take down the Baron anyway. They jump on top of Zeus, but now Gumayusi is dived in. The feathers are so good. Paddock, DRX, where have you been all season? This is amazing as Paddock is going to look for some feathers onto the pigeon himself, and Carrier, he does have one carry left, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And DRX, they got the prize they were looking for. They might even get the soul as well. There he goes. That is going to be the ace. And yeah, Rascal's already in the top lane. This is the last place team in the LCK. And to go on what you were just talking about, Hawks, like, they don't look like it. No! They don't look like it. And just a lot of people were ready to call DRX's season over. It looked it. Last place, the only team on 3 wins, and just when it looks like they're out, they clutch a series against T1 and keep their hopes of playoffs alive. They do. They move up to those 4 wins. T1 still only 1 victory away. Any of the next 3 series. The dumb one 2020 that he's going to throw up there as well, just to remind everyone. Oh, man. Well, Fate did so much damage.
Thank you guys, this is Dear for the POG Interview translation. We are here joined by Fate and Paddock on the side of DRX. You guys must be incredibly happy. What is important is an unbreakable spirit. You guys have defeated T1 in both rounds 1 and 2, so how do you feel, Fate? Lately, we have been in a slump and bad atmosphere, but I feel like whenever we do practice, lately, I'm just really happy that we were able to pull off a good win. And Paddock, due to a lot of the losing streak, we were pretty down, but a lot of the Hyungs in the team, they told me, or they gave me a lot of good advice and told me that I can do it. So really happy. And today's victory was so meaningful. It was DRX's first victory in round 2. So during the losing streak, what was your central goal, Fate? Whenever we practice, I feel like we lacked in sort of organizing the tier list for champions. So we try to communicate and try to play around each other. And Paddock, with game 1 being a loss, what contributed to the loss? I feel like for game 1, having to go against Rel Jungle, I feel like we were able to take it away from the opponent, but we weren't able to. That's probably why we lost. And what was the reason for picking red side in game 2? After losing the first game, we thought about the draft and all of the picks and bans that came from game 1. We just analyzed that and concluded that it wasn't because of the draft and there weren't a lot of issues, so we went ahead and picked red side again. In game 2, you guys completed a 280 carry comp, and Varus and Tristana had an explosive damage outfit. So what was... If you would tell us the proper way to play a 280C comp? So Tristana has really good late game scaling, and I feel like it really depends on the team's color, but since our team is able to go ahead and grab a lot of prio for Tristana and Varus, so we wanted to go ahead and try that. And Padak, the opponent pulled a surprise Ezreal pick. So what did the team discuss? So we just told ourselves that it doesn't really matter, and with us having Varus, we're able to apply a lot of pressure and also go ahead and play a good late game, so we were pretty confident. And Fate, in game 3, you picked mid Jace. And lately, Jace's value has been rated pretty highly alongside AP jungle. So what are his strengths? So a long time ago, Jace was a little difficult to play early game until you get some items, but lately I feel like we picked Jace to sort of complete the comp so that it's more solid. So I feel like it's definitely a good pick for playing around your team. And Padak, in the last team fight at Baron in game 3, you pulled the enemy right into you. Let's take a look at the replay right here. Can you walk us through what happened here? So I used my ult against Zeri W and I felt like I made a mistake, but it was actually a good strategy to grab the enemy's Zeri, so it worked out really well. I feel like the moment I was able to survive that first bit of the team fight, that was probably when I thought that it was winnable. And it looks like Fate is saying I was fighting in a different area, and I was looking at the map and I figured that we were really lucky in that team fight. So with DRX joining the 4-win crew, every victory is so important to you guys. So what are your predictions, Fate? All the other teams have been improving their performances lately, and despite all our losing streaks, we were able to turn it around today and hope that this is something that we can keep up and keep our momentum after our win against T1. And Padak? If we're able to win the remainder of the matches, we're able to keep our chances for the playoffs. So we'll try hard to keep our performances. And with you going up against Kwangdong Freaks, next, what is your resolution? No, the next match we're against a good team. They're on a good momentum, and I would be so happy to win against them after preparing really well. And Padak? So despite our losing streak, there are a lot of fans that just keep supporting us, so I'm really thankful. So I'd like to say I'm grateful. Thank you. And congratulations again. This will be the end of the interview with Fate and Padak, and back to the space.